Hey, and welcome to Week 10. Count them, both hands completed. Week 10 Fantasy Wall Street. We're going to be looking at some players you should be looking to buy before their value skyrockets, or players you should be trying to sell at their peak value, or before their stock tanks. Okay, Kyle, give me some good fantasy financial advice, sir.
Well, speaking of counting, it's the last week before I have to start using toes to count the weeks in the NFL. So that's
My
a
goodness, it's flying by.
little bit sad. But all right, we're going to start off with a couple of Cardinals. And we're going to throw Trey Benson over in the buy column. It's kind of a same concept as last week. He's been hurt for a while. Go out and see what you can get for him. He should be back anytime, another week or two maybe. But just watching the Cardinals' run game against Dallas, even against Dallas, it wasn't great. Like, they need him back, and when he comes back, he's going to be a workhorse, and he's going to be a stud. And you're going to want that on your roster. And, like, championship week, he plays Cincinnati. That's fantastic, He's got a pretty good schedule, so I definitely would be trying to get him on my team.
I agree. That performance by Bam Knight and DeMarcado was lame against Dallas. And DeMarcado, to me, actually looked much better than Bam Knight. And yeah, I'm just not impressed with those running backs. And Trey Benson is a stud. And so hopefully you can snag him before he comes back and starts performing. Like you said, I like their schedule from here on out is not too shabby. That championship week is prime against Cincinnati. So try to snag him now before he comes back and starts gaining that value.
Exactly. Now, on the flip side, going into the sell column is going to be Marvin Harrison.
Womp womp.
So he had easily his best game of the season Monday night against Dallas. Surprise, surprise. His schedule versus wide receivers instead of running backs like for Benson is much tougher. He has just been so wildly inconsistent as it is. And then you don't know, is Murray coming back? I know they've got old man starting again this week. I've just blanked on his name live. But Brissett. I kept wanting to say Brisket, and I'm like, that's not right. Somebody said that on the Sunday morning show.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's in my head. Every time I see his name, I think Brisket. But so, he's the starter again this week. You don't know if or when Murray will be back or whatever, but regardless of who's playing quarterback, Harrison has been so inconsistent. Don't think his value gets any higher than that game Monday night against Dallas this season. Like, I'm trying to sell him high immediately.
I agree. Like, he had tied his career high in receptions by halftime against Dallas. That's only 6. That's not a lot. He finished with only 7 receptions. So he only had 1 reception in the second half. Dallas's defense is atrocious.
So bad.
It is so bad. So only getting 1 catch in that second half is not good.
No.
So, yeah, he finished with 25 points, but he had 22 at half. Like, it's wild how good of a first half he had. So it's not like he's blowing up like that every game. It's just, and like you said, we don't know the quarterback situation either. Not a great schedule. I'm selling as high as I possibly can right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
We're going to throw another one in the sell. It's going to be DJ Moore.
Yep.
I know I've had him here before.
100%.
But if you hung on to him, now's for sure the time to sell. All right. He's coming off of 2 back-to-back pretty decent games against Baltimore and Cincinnati, 2 of the worst, pass defenses in the league.
So horrible.
And so if you hadn't sold him before now is the time. You might have a small window after the Giants game that's coming up this week. But, Minnesota, Pitt, Philly, Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay, San Fran's the rest of his schedule. And he's already been super not involved. Adunze took over the number 1 spot. Now you got a Loveland freaking breakout game this week, right? So, like, he's going to fall behind him too, probably, is what I would expect. So take these 2 games, take advantage, sell them, and try to get somebody more that you can rely on down the stretch.
I mean, if we're being honest, Zacchaeus is getting just as much, if not more targets than DJ Moore. So,
Mhm.
I mean, he's dropped to that level in this offense. I think Loveland does get more attention moving forward because I think he's kind of starting to show what he can do. Uh,
Yep.
DJ Moore, like you said, if you haven't already sold him, because I think a lot of people already gave up on him, if I'm being honest. So if you haven't and you waited and you finally got that breakout game, yeah, get rid of him while he's got some sort of value again, finally, because it won't last long.
Yep. 100%. All right.
Next.
Next one in the buy column is going to be Rashid Shaheed.
Yes, sir.
And he was a major winner at the trade deadline. I feel like, he's going to step in there and be a legit deep threat number 2 to JSN. And I think it's going to help JSN even more as well.
Yep.
But Rashid Shaheed, he's got it, a large upgrade at quarterback, going from Shuck to Sam Darnold now. Like,
100%.
this is an absolute win. If you can get him for anywhere near what his value's been instead of what it's going to be, that's an absolute win.
Yeah, I'm really sad I don't have any stock of Shaheed here because I think of all places to go, he got a good landing spot. Like I look at Jacoby Myers and I'm like, ugh, he had to go to Jacksonville. And I look at Shaheed and I was like, ooh, it's like that Drake meme where
Yeah.
just like, ooh. So same sort of thing here. Shaheed got a good landing spot. Darnold is very capable. Exactly. He's very capable, which I never thought I'd be saying. Sam Darnold is capable of anything besides turning the ball over and losing. Anyways, I like this landing spot for him. Hate it for Cooper Kupp. Kind of feel bad for Torrey Horton, who looked like he was coming alive, but love it for Shaheed. I think it's going to be a great landing spot for him.
Absolutely. I'm also sad I don't have any shares in Shaheed.
And the problem is there's a lot of hype coming right out of that trade. It's hard to trade for guys that just get traded because there's a lot of what if, right? That potential. So that does make his asking price probably higher than it should be based on he hasn't done anything there yet, right? But people are going to want a pretty penny based off of pure potential.
Yeah. I mean, if you're lucky and the guy that owns him in your league is one of those head in the sand fantasy players and doesn't know that he was traded, maybe you get lucky,
Well, our system here doesn't know he was traded. It's still showing him in New Orleans. So, maybe one of your league mates is as far behind as our system is.
I was gonna say sleeper shows Seattle. So
Yep. I'm not sleeper, Kyle.
All right, well, debatable. Sleeper worthy, maybe.
There you go.
Our last buy is going to be Garrett Wilson. And
Tell me more.
so this is one that's going to be a little bit of the opposite, maybe, of Shaheed, where everybody's going to be like, oh my God, the Jets are giving up their season. They're having a fire sale on their team. Whatever. They don't know who's going to be quarterback. It's going to be Fields for now. Maybe Tyrod eventually if he gets healthy. Nobody knows. But regardless, the way I'm looking at this is they have a really good schedule for wide receivers. And they're going to be in a lot of negative game scripts where they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. They just sold off their 2 best defenders at the trade deadline. They're going to be behind and throwing the ball a lot. And I would love to have a receiver with that kind of volume on my team, especially with the schedule down the stretch.
I was going to say, they talked about the fire sale, but it was all on the defensive side of the ball, right?
Yeah.
So Breece Hall didn't go anywhere, which was surprising.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to kind of bite them. But they sold on the defensive side. Like you said, they're going to be playing catch up the entire time. And I really don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care if it's Fields or Tyrod Taylor. Both of them are going to throw the ball to their best wide receiver in Garrett Wilson with a nice rest of the season schedule. I'm all about it, dude. And the good thing is Garrett Wilson this is going to sound so bad, but he benefits a lot from garbage time scoring.
Yeah.
They're behind. So you may have to be really patient with Garrett Wilson in these games and just wait till the last 8 minutes of the game, and you're about to pick up, 15 points pretty quick. That's
Yeah.
just
He's going to be running open routes against, prevent defenses at the end of games, catching whatever gets chucked his way. He's going to have 15 receptions a game, probably going forward. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibility. So,
Yep.
Absolutely, give me that.
Yep. Love it. All right.
All right, the last sell, and people are going to think this is weird, and I'll probably get, trashed for it. But
I hope you do. You suck.
J.K. Dobbins, and it's funny because I know I've had R.J. Harvey on the buy list a couple times. This is not the same reasons. I'm also because I had R.J. Harvey on the sell last week because of how high his value was.
Yeah.
This one is less about what he's capable of and more about looking forward in the season. He's not scoring touchdowns. He's not catching passes. He's got some really tough matchups down the stretch in that schedule. And so I'm thinking take him while his value is hot, while he's playing well, and see if you can flip him for another running back with a better schedule. There's plenty of options out there. I'm trying to do that with J.K. Dobbins. Like I say, it's not about the fact that he isn't playing well or anything like that. I just think you can find somebody that might be able to get you more points with better matchups down the stretch here. This is more of a move for playoff-bound teams that have J.K. Dobbins on their roster.
Okay, so J.K. Dobbins is one of those running backs that's in a backfield that I like to avoid, and I have avoided this backfield completely because you just don't know who it's going to be. Unfortunately, many backfields are this way now, right? Like, who is the guy there? And I don't know if it's J.K. Dobbins or R.J. Harvey, and I don't think that they know until they get into the game and see who's performing better. And that hot hand kind of approach, and then, game script and stuff, it just makes me nervous. J.K. Dobbins isn't a pass catcher. He hasn't gotten more than 2 targets in a game. And so that really, really limits his upside. Whereas Harvey, he can get up to 5 targets a game. So there's a big difference there in upside. I agree. I think I'm trying to get rid of Dobbins. My question to you really quick is, who would you rather have, J.K. Dobbins or Monangai?
Probably Monangai. He's on the upswing.
I think so too.
I think Swift got himself injured out of a job, not out of a job, but into a smaller piece of that share.
Yeah.
That time share. But yeah, just going back to Dobbins for a second, when you look at the matchups left on on their schedule, they've got matchups against Kansas City, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City again. Maybe not Jacksonville, but the other ones I listed there, they're going to be tight, passing, high scoring. That's R.J. Harvey all day.
Yep.
Then you got Vegas, Washington, probably without Jaden Daniels still. Vegas again, Jacksonville. They could end up with such big leads in that game, even if they're trying to grind out clock by running, which is his game. R.J. Harvey could get those because they want to preserve J.K. Dobbins. You know what I mean? So
yeah, because J.K. has got the injury history.
Put the backup RB in for garbage time. So there's a lot to be worried about here with J.K. Dobbins and just his role.
Yeah, I don't love that he has to play against Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City in the playoffs.
And he hasn't had a bye yet. He's still got a bye to go this.
Yeah, that's also true. So that devalues him a little bit too. So yeah, try to go get you a player that hasn't had, or that's already had their bye. Yeah, that's a big thing.
I do think, I know you asked about Monangai. I would aim a little higher than that in a trade.
Oh, I mean, I was just trying to make one of just like another timeshare type guy, like a Rico Dowdle or J.K. Dobbins, is that kind of what you're thinking, a little higher?
Dowdle's a good one. Jalen Warren is one I might aim for. Those are 2 guys I would probably shoot to grab.
Yeah, I love Jalen Warren for sure.
Yeah, both of them have pretty decent schedules and stuff. So if you can pull something for Breece Hall, amazing schedule. I might look at that as well.
Yep, someone trying to sell high on Brees Hall. All right, guys, that's going to do it for Week 10 Fantasy Wall Street. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck getting your trades.
Get them trades on.